All right, so I'm sitting here with Ms. Tala, and she's been a trainer for how long now?
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a special focus or anything you're working on right now?
I've mostly been bodybuilding focused since I've started,
Okay.
but kind of transitioning a little bit more into a little bit more athletic training.
Cool.
Bodybuilding is always just the base. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what we're all taught when we get into personal training or the fitness industry, so it's kind of transitioning. This is where we met, and
Sure.
it kind of bridges that gap a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I would say for now, bodybuilding.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what exactly is making you transition from bodybuilding to athletics?
Just that it's more longevity based.
Okay.
I feel as though, because once I've stopped training bodybuilding training, I've noticed more bumps and kinks and things that just don't move the way that they're supposed to.
Sure,
And
sure.
even looking at my 53-year-old dad who's trained one way for over 30 years, I'm like, okay, your body's not supposed to hurt
Yeah.
this much in your 50s if you train like an athlete, not like a bodybuilder.
Sure. So he's more in that camp.
He's definitely more in that bodybuilding camp, like has trained like Arnold for the last 30 years.
Cool.
Same training. It's really cool. Like he has a really good physique, but it's like, I don't think your body should age like you're 50 in your 50s if you're training like an athlete.
Okay.
Like if you look at athletes, they still are very agile. Their knees don't hurt as much. Their back doesn't hurt as much. So for me, longevity, and especially as a woman, longevity too, plays a key factor because we go through a lot just hormonally as is.
Yeah.
And training like a bodybuilder more and more is coming out. It's not good for women.
Is it?
It's not. I mean, we're not meant to train fasted.
Okay.
We're not meant to be doing all these extreme low carb, anything like that. Your hormones tank like crazy. Like you're just not meant to. Our bodies are meant to provide life whether we want to or not. Like that's the cycle that our bodies go through.
Right.
So to put it through really extreme cycles that are meant for men whose hormones function on a 24-hour basis, like you
Right.
guys have the same hormones day over day over day over day.
Sure.
Whereas women's literally, ours change over a 28-day cycle. Like we are not the same day over day over day over day.
And even within that too, those cycles are different. Like one week is
Exactly.
different from the next.
Absolutely, and I'm all about listening to your body and not training like a man because I did for a really long time. I did that when we first met like years ago at the gym. I trained like a man. You could have put me right up next to a man and I could have gone bar for bar. But later on in life, I'm like, okay, wait, that really messed me up hormonally.
Okay.
That messed me up. Like my body isn't moving the way it's supposed to.
Sure.
So when you look into athletic training and then also putting it in, this is for women only, obviously, but putting it with
good.
your
We can
cycle, right?
generalize.
Yeah, putting it with your cycle and everything like that, it changes your trajectory. It changes, if we're all about physique, it changes how your physique
Sure.
looks.
Sure.
It changes how your face looks. It changes how your body functions. So bottom line, I think athletic training is where it's at.
Okay.
Because we're not supposed to be big and we're not supposed to be...
Yeah, carrying around some extra mass.
We're not.
Sure.
Like, no matter who we are, men or women, right?
Sure.
Like, we're supposed to be able to move freely. Like, we're meant to jump. We're meant to kneel. We're meant to throw things over our head. Like, when you go...
Move freely.
Move freely. Like,
Yeah.
that's how we're supposed to be. And we're already stuck in our chairs in front of a desk,
Right.
in front of a computer
Right.
for days on end. And then you go train bicep curls how many times, and you do squats and hack squats, but you're not doing lateral lunges or curtsy lunges
Sure.
or jumping from a box or jumping from place to place or one foot to the other. Because then when you hit 70, 80, 90, all of a sudden going down from a chair and standing up is really hard.
Right. You think you have the strength for it, but you don't know how to move
Exactly.
all these parts together.
You trip. That takes one trip and you're done.
Sure, sure.
Basically, everybody that talks about like a grandparent or a parent that falls once and everything kind of declines after that, all it takes is one. And if we're training to not trip or to be agile from our 20s or even teens on, then hopefully the theory is that you carry it on.
Sure. So, coming from more of the physical therapy world, I am seeing athletes that do have knee pain and do have back pain, right? Things that you said that you generally don't seem to see as much in the athletic population. So it seems like we're seeing the bodybuilding world and the athletic world maybe through two different lenses.
Maybe.
So what I'm curious about is, being more new to athletics for you, have you learned how to bridge the gap between bodybuilding and athletics so that bodybuilding can be used to complement athletic endeavors?
Absolutely.
And then can you use athletic endeavors to complement bodybuilding? Have you gotten to that point?
Of course.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd be curious to see, because today we're going to grade or rank different parts of training, whether they're tools or concepts or modalities. And we're going to kind of give our perspective of, just for fun, what we think about these tools and these strategies. So I'm curious to see kind of where your head's at with that and how you've experienced bridging bodybuilding and athletics.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. You
Absolutely.
want to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay. So this first one, we don't know what this is, just a random list we made. So first one's going to be stretching. Okay. What would you give this out of 10?
I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Why do you say that?
I mean, it's important.
Tell me
It's
more.
absolutely important. I mean, like I said, we sit a lot. We sit, we're stagnant, we do get tight.
Sure.
I won't give it a full 10 out of 10 because I feel it could be taken out, everything can be taken out of context.
Okay.
Like, obviously, taking the time to stretch is good to release whatever lactic acid you've got built up, whatever tension we've got built up. But if it's just solely what we're doing, there's no benefit. You're just moving lax. Like, you're not putting things back in its place. Like, you're letting it go, but you're not putting everything back into alignment.
Yeah. Let's see. I'd probably say I like that answer. I like where you're at, where there's a benefit, but you have to be more well-rounded. I would give it, again, with context. If you kind of have an intent behind stretching, I would say also a 9 out of 10. I'm very picky about this because I think the intent behind stretching is to relax your nervous system, which is going to help the muscle relax and gain length and flexibility.
Right.
But I think stretching has never really been taught the right way. I think stretching should be gone to, to the point where you initially feel the pull and you breathe in the pull.
I agree.
Because of the breathing and the changes in pressures in your body help your nervous system feel that it's safe. So the nervous system lets the muscle go. And simply by getting to the onset of the stretch, you're letting your nervous system know we need a change.
Right.
But not to force it.
Right.
And I also say what you said, 9 out of 10, because you have to, and I think you should combine it with training, because how does a tight muscle reintegrate with other muscles that may be looser, right? Or maybe even muscles, this is maybe a topic for another time, but muscles that were long and got tight in a lengthened state.
Right.
So again, the context behind stretching really matters, and that can change. So stretching might be a 3 out of 10 versus a 10 out of 10, but that's kind of where I'm coming from. Similar to you?
No, I agree, 100%.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's where PNF stretching comes in, basically, in a way.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. It's kind of teaching
Another video for
another
PNF stretching.
video for another time, but basically what you touched on, going till you feel that tightness, that pain, like a 7 maybe out of 10.
Well, be careful with pain though, because
Not pain.
if you want to get to an onset of a stretch, it should be 0 pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Not pain, but like that's about my limit. Like, this is where it
Right.
can go without.
You're letting your brain's letting you know there's a threat.
Yeah, there's a threat, exactly.
I think Natalie's at the door. I'm gonna let her in.
Okay.
Oh, obsessed. Hey.
Come on up.
Sorry, the phone's on Do Not Disturb. Make yourself at home. We're just gonna shoot this. It won't take long.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay. All right. If I had a third mic, I'd say jump in.
What's that?
If I had a third mic, I'd say jump in.
We could share.
We
could share
can do
mics.
another round. All right, so for our next one, we've got neck exercises.
Oh.
What would you score that?
Any specific neck exercises?
General. Because again, with stretching, we could get very specific too.
Yeah.
But we're kind of like generally speaking.
Right.
So just like off the bat, do you think exercising your neck would be a good thing, avoidant?
I'm coming at it from a general population type of thing.
Yep.
I would rate it, again, general population,
Yeah.
people that don't necessarily know what they're doing, which is like a lot of the time.
Sure. We're not talking boxers. We're not
No,
talking
we're not
wrestlers.
No, I'm talking
Sure.
general population. I would honestly give it like a 2 out of 10.
Sure.
It makes me nervous.
Okay.
Because I don't know the neck, and I'm as much as I should.
Okay.
And if I don't, then I don't think the average person does
Sure.
as well. Like,
Sure,
they're just
sure.
doing this in terms of, oh, so-and-so told me it would be good. Lack of control, lack of understanding of like, okay, my neck should be in a certain position, or it shouldn't be like feeling this way, or should I be using these muscles? maybe obviously from your point of view with PRI and everything, there's a different outlook. But for me, looking at it as somebody that doesn't know as much as maybe I should know about the neck, I would say it just makes me nervous. 3 out of 10, because there's a lot that can go wrong.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I feel like when I was a trainer, I didn't know anything about the neck either, so I really avoided it. And I agree with you. It's like if people are coming to us for help and we don't even know about it, general public, generally speaking, maybe let's avoid neck exercises. Save that for the chiropractor, the physical therapist, things like that. Neck exercises in a gym setting for me, I would say 0 out of 10. I don't think that a general public, again, we're not talking about fighters, we're not talking about wrestlers who they should train their neck, but general public, I think 0 out of 10, because the neck is dictated, or the neck will have stiffness or let's just say problems because the tongue is not in the right position. The jaw is the steering wheel of the spine. The neck is part of the spine. So if the jaw isn't moving how it should, that's why the neck stiffens. So if you're trying to exercise the neck, be it stretching, strengthening, but you still don't have a tongue in the right posture, you don't have a jaw that moves properly, that neck is going to keep stiffening up and probably get too stiff in the exercise you're doing. So I'd say 0 out of 10. Cool.
Yeah, I would probably share 0, but
hey, there's a good rationale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Ready for the next one?
Yep, ready.
So next we've got monster bands.
With the fat ones?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know what monster bands are, it's a little bit different type of resistance band. So grab the one on your right.
This one?
That's a monster band. Okay.
As I grab 2.
So there's all kinds of bands. Regular resistance band, like a tube. So Tala's got this long orange one. A monster band is a loop. All right. The other thing Tala's holding is another type of loop. That's going to go around knees, elbows, wrists, and ankles. This type of monster band could be used for body weight exercises, but also it's meant to be put on barbells, maybe on dumbbells. So there's an extra type of resistance. So this would be an example of a monster band. Have you ever used one of these before?
Yes.
What would you grade it?
Honestly?
Yeah.
I give them a solid 10 out of 10. There's a lot of benefit.
Same one.
I mean, they're versatile. So they can be used in every context, whether it's stretching, bringing it back to stretching, deepening your stretch, using it to get you in different positions in that stretch.
Sure.
It
Or
can
support
be,
you, maybe.
Or support, exactly. It could be used in place of a barbell or a dumbbell or anything for a regression. So anything that is like a little bit too much with a barbell, but too little without it, body weight.
Sure.
It's a great substitute.
Yeah.
It can be taken in a hotel, at home, whether you're pregnant, not pregnant, healing from recovery. Like it's very, very versatile, and there's so many things you can do with it. And then you could always double it up, triple it up, take it up on the rig, help you with pull-ups, add more resistance to squats or lunges, and it's so versatile that I would never not have a band in my arsenal. I love banded work. It's just, you want to work on your small muscles, work on those small muscles. The band is the best way to do it, better than using any other dumbbells, I think, in some certain instances.
Yeah, it gets that pull right away.
Yeah.
Versus dumbbell, it might be a lag before the resistance kicks in.
Based off of where that lever is, whereas the band is like, it's a constant tension the entire time, and it's like, it's unsuspectingly hard. You know, you give somebody a band and like, oh, it's a light band, and then they get 10 reps in and they're like, oh wait, this
I wasn't expecting that burn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm with you on the versatility. I think I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Like you could attach it to your own body, you could attach it to something externally. For me, I personally like it for barbell use. When you pick up a bar off the ground for deadlifts or you go to squat, there's some initial pull, but having the band add more resistance as you go through it versus without it, the resistance stays the same. I like that challenge. So again, we're kind of generally speaking for the general public, but I love it for athletes. I love it for bodybuilders that are a little bit more advanced, have more body awareness.
Right.
But like you said, it's very versatile, so I'd say 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's next. We've got water resistance tubes.
Ooh.
You know what these are?
Yeah, I played with it recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
With myself and with one of my clients. I give it, honestly, a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
It was great. I think it was, again, one of those things where like, oh, how hard could it be? And you just use a little bit of water, it's like you feel your entire body is working with you. Like I think I did it with an overhead press. shoulders are on fire, core is on fire, your feet are gripping for dear life because it's not
You're
as
getting
easy.
pulled every which way.
You're getting pulled every which way. I mean, it's like, it's fun, it's challenging, it makes you go like, what the fuck am I doing?
What's your
Like,
language? The kids out there are trying to learn exercise.
Yeah. There's your mind.
She's been in the gym in the grunt of the gym for a while. So
Too long, I think. Yeah. But your mind's just like it's battling itself because you know what you're doing. Your body knows what it's doing, but that extra sloshing is challenging mind and body.
Sure.
So I would say honestly, it's another 10 out of 10.
So I like your perspective because like I think when people lift weights, they're thinking about picking up the weight, and because the weight doesn't have any dynamic factors, right? Maybe the muscle has less leverage at certain angles, but the weight itself doesn't change. I really like the dynamic of it because as much as you want to maneuver the weight, it forces you to focus on your body now. As much as you might focus on your body for weights, it's not bringing that level of awareness. So I think the whole point of training is to say, like, am I connected? Are my systems integrated? So I really like it for that purpose. And I would say for water resistance tubes, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. The only reason I go a little bit less is because what is your goal? If you have good body awareness and your goal is to maybe grow more muscle, it doesn't really do that.
No.
You'll feel muscle burning, especially the first or second session, but you're probably going to adapt pretty quick. So you're not going to see that muscle growth.
Right.
For the athletic population who needs, where there's people on the field that are coming at them, they have to know how to change direction, love it for that. But that's not everybody's goal.
That is true.
So I love it, but it's not for everybody.
Within context.
Yeah. So I'd say 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Next, we've got barbells.
Easy.
Simple. Yep.
Very simple.
What do you think about that?
I think barbells are easy to learn, hard to master.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it looks simple. You're like, oh, how hard could it be? And there's different weights. Like you can get the beginner weight, the barbell, that's like about 25 pounds, right?
This one's 15.
15, right? Then there's varying weights. Like, okay, how hard could it be? It's a stick, essentially, at the end of the day. It's easy to learn. You're like, okay, you pick it up, you put it back down. But there's so many nuances to it. Like, as I'm starting to learn because of Brandon, it's not as easy as picking it up and putting it back down. It teaches you to be very aware of your body.
Sure.
It points out very extreme differences between left and right. Like if you're picking it up and you're shrugging, or you favor your left side over your right side, if you're balanced, if you're unbalanced, if you're pressing and you're favoring one side, it points it out very obviously, glaringly obvious.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Sure.
But I also get uncomfortable with Gen Pop because I see a lot at the gym. I'm like, ooh, that's going to lead to injury because it's so nuanced. Again, it's hard to master. Like, where do you put your hands? How do you stand? How do you relax your shoulders? Where do your lats go? Where does your head go? Where are your feet? Like,
Sure.
There's so much to it, and I don't think we'd know enough. I just learned, and I've been in the industry for 5 years, and there's always like the general like meathead principles.
Grip and rip.
Literally, exactly. Lift it up, push against the, like there's more to it than pushing against the floor. And I think this is why I told you I found more injuries with bodybuilding because of that meathead approach, right?
More weight, just get it up.
More weight, pick it up, you know, put on all that mass, and the heavier you're going, the better.
Sure.
But when you're bringing it down to the simple, like very like literally from your toes to your head, it's very challenging.
Sure.
Very, very challenging. And trying to teach that to somebody right off the bat is very hard. So it's kind of like, what is it? Is it snowboarding? That's easy to learn, hard to master?
Sure. Yeah.
I would say I would compare the barbell to a snowboard.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that because it's like you're strapped in as one piece, not two.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I like that perspective. And again, I think this is similar to the water tubes, the resistance. It's depending on what are your goals, what is your type of training style. I love it because it does bring that awareness to your body. It's a full body type of thing. You can't isolate muscles with it, certainly, but because you have it in two hands or you have it on your back and you're using two legs, if things aren't truly connected, you can't get away with it.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to get away with dumbbell exercises where you compensate because that one arm, that one leg, etc., can kind of maneuver the body to add momentum. But with a barbell, you can't find momentum in your body. Everything is stuck together. So I really like it for that way.
Yeah.
But because it might not be for everybody, I'm more going to give it maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10 because it's got a significant reason that requires a lot of training to make sure that you're doing it right, to make sure you're getting your goals, and to make sure you're not hurting yourself.
Right. Yeah.
So I personally love it for, I could list 10 reasons, but for general public, I would say 5 or 6 out of 10 for the barbell.
Yeah. Did I give it a rating?
I think you said higher. What did you say?
I don't remember.
What would you say?
I would say 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
just for
very
that same reason.
effective.
It's very effective, but it's, again, it makes me nervous to see just anybody picking up a barbell.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's easier to correct form with dumbbells.
Yeah.
Like you could sense like, oh, I'm leaning back. Oh, I'm shrugging.
Yeah.
You may not be as aware because your body's doesn't have that same momentum, so you may not notice what's compensating.
Oh, yeah.
So unless someone shares with you how to fix the mechanics, the technique, you don't know how. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
100%.
All right. Let's see. We're on the same page for the most part.
For the most part, for now.
Kettlebells.
Ooh.
What do you think? Much broader.
Yeah. I feel like kettlebells are a lot of fun.
Okay.
I think I would give it maybe around that 6, 7 out of 10 range.
Sure.
Just again, because it's so very nuanced. Like kettlebells are, you think barbells are very like nuanced? I think kettlebells are even more. There's a very wide range of what you can do with kettlebells. It is great. Like you could probably get away with it just being your only source of equipment if that's all you have, because it is great for exploiting imbalances, like whether it's in the shoulder, the core. You're using it for explosive power if you're an athlete. It's great for bodybuilding in certain aspects just because of how the weight is loaded. But also it makes me nervous because there's a lot of injuries I think associated with kettlebells, just as much as it could be with barbells. But it's unsuspecting, and I don't. Like there's
Kind
a lot
sneaks
of
up on you a little bit.
It really does. Like especially when it comes to how you're positioning, like overhead things. Like it's not as simple with a kettlebell as it is with, say, a dumbbell.
Sure.
Throwing it up over your head is a lot different with a kettlebell and how you're putting it across, like how you.
Do you care to share why? What's the difference between a kettlebell and dumbbell in terms of like how that could change things when it's, say, for example, overhead?
Yeah, I mean, with overhead, with a dumbbell, most people think, okay, not that it's right, but a lot of people just throw it up overhead, right, and just hold it here. With the kettlebell, you can't just hold it here. You got to rotate and place your lats back in the pocket, I guess. You got to put your armpit back in its pocket because of how the weight is loaded. If you just hold it here, I have found, first of all, you're exhausting the muscles that are not working, and it's not stabilized in any way. Whereas dumbbells, it kind of is. It's stable up here. It's not going anywhere. It's not moving. It's not rotating. If you rotate your arms, the dumbbell moves. But the kettlebell, because you're holding it essentially in a way upside down where the weight is at the bottom and you're holding it by the handle, one wrong move and you're basically put out for a massive injury, I would imagine. So if you're not locked in and loaded and your entire body is tight with the kettlebell, there's very little
higher
space.
Chance for injury.
Oh, 100%.
So in terms of shoulder mechanics and like kind of what you're sharing about being overhead, you turn more this way, you turn more that way. I can see how the placement of the kettlebell, for those of you that don't know, if you're holding a handle, the kettlebell's hanging down. So Tala's sharing how like the kettlebell would be more against your forearm or maybe on the backside. That's going to kind of pull you rather than a dumbbell being centered in your hand. There's less pull.
Right.
But that doesn't change the mechanics of your shoulder. It's more just like, what is the goal? But the bell pulling you one which way or another has a different kind of effect.
Okay.
But I don't think that would change how much rotation your shoulder would have. It's more about the individual knowing what to do with their mechanics, their stability, etc.
It's more advanced. I would say kettlebell's a little bit more advanced.
Because you're managing the placement of it, whereas a dumbbell's more centered, the placement changes things.
Yeah.
I think why a kettlebell is more advanced because there's more momentum with it. So looking at kettlebells separately from dumbbells, you can do similar exercise with kettlebell.
Right.
But if we're going to talk about kettlebell in respect to its original use, it was for swings and dynamic motion where you're trading it off and you're moving in, rotational ways while going up and down.
Right.
So it's much, much more dynamic than dumbbells. So yeah, there's a higher chance of injury. You have to know what you're doing. Is it going to meet your goals? So speaking to the general public, I give a kettlebell maybe a 3 or 4 out of 10 because unless you want that dynamic training, unless you want to use it for athleticism and get that carryover,
Right.
I don't think there's a lot of carryover to growing muscle, to longevity, unless you know how to move your body that dynamically. So you need training for it. So that's why I don't think it's a great tool. But for those that know how to use it, I do think it's wonderful. I'd give it a much more 8, 9, 10 out of 10. But you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
I think that's kind of across for everything.
it is.
So
That's why this is hard, because like we want to help everybody, and we can get into specifics.
Yeah.
But to keep things simple for the general public, if you have more momentum, you have more change of direction, you have a larger variety of goals. If you're not trained, a lot of these tools can be a little bit more hard to pick up and more dangerous. So that's why some of these ranks were getting lower
Yeah.
compared to, like, say, the athletes that have the training to use them. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost done here. We got pistol squats.
Oh, I love pistol squats.
Do you want a demo?
I don't know if I
Told
can.
you. You chose that.
I did. I do love pistol squats, though.
Okay.
I think.
What would you rank it? What would you give it?
I would give it a solid 8 or 9 out of 10.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
It's a good mental challenge as much as it is a physical challenge.
I like that.
It is very much a goal that a lot of people find impossible, but once it's done, it is so satisfying. And I've seen it
Sure.
firsthand, right?
Sure.
And there's so many ways to get to it. And most of what I've seen, starting with pistol squats, it comes with, I want more stability.
Okay.
I want to be more stable. I want to have more balance. I want to be able to go down the stairs with less knee pain. So it starts very small. It can start very, very small. It can start gradually with just stepping down on a step,
Sure.
like a little deficit step. And then from there, it goes to a single leg squat on a box, like just sitting down and standing back up. Again, very simple, right? But then it has this really, it seems impossible goal. Like, what do you mean you want me to squat down with one foot and be able to stand up? Like, my knees could never.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But with the progression, with strengthening your knees to get to that pistol squat, there's so many benefits mobility wise. It's challenging, single leg, single everything. Like, it's one of my favorites to throw at people and be like, hey, you want to make that your goal? And then when people make it, they're like, oh my God.
Sure.
I did that,
Sure.
and my knees don't hurt, and my ankles don't hurt, and I
Yeah.
did this all by myself. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's a great mental challenge as well as it is like a physical mobility. How do your hips move? How is, like, are you aware with how your feet are? Are you on your heels? Are you on your toes? Are you?
Sure.
It's great. Just overall, it's one of my favorites to
Okay.
like throw at people and be like, I know you can do it. And then when they do it, they're like, oh my God, I did it.
She's mean. Pistol squats are hard.
They are hard.
I really like your rationale. What did you score it?
I give it an 8 or 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So I feel like, I try not to have any biases when Tala gives her, her subjective report.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have graded that lower, but your answer was so good, and I can get behind all of that.
But you have a clinical approach to it.
Well, I'm trying to leave the physical therapy side behind. I'm trying to think just gym. I keep coming back to what is your goal?
Right.
So I think the pistol squat for general public is very good. I think whether your goal is muscle growth, athleticism, longevity, anything of the sort, I think that everyone can benefit. I think it's a very demanding goal.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little bit more disciplined and focused to keep practicing it week after week after week before you can get that full depth and come back up well. I would say just intuitively, I'd give it maybe a 6 to 7 out of 10. I think there's a ton of benefit, but it requires discipline, it requires training, it requires time, and it does require body awareness focus. And I think it can meet a lot of goals, but general public, I think people like to keep things simple.
Yeah.
So that's why I rank it a little bit lower at a 6 or 7.
That's fair.
But for those that are going to, prioritize it, I would give it a higher rank for sure. So yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you had a great answer.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, what do we got next here? We've got sled pulls and drags.
Those are also really good.
What do you think about that?
I think
Myth.
all around, it's a very well-rounded piece of equipment
Sure,
and movement.
sure.
I think no matter the age, no matter the training style, no matter physical situation, whether it's rehab or prehab or anything like that, it is great because it works on mechanics that we need on our day-to-day life, like walking and pushing and opening and pulling. Like, it's so versatile, and it carries over well into running. It carries well over into walking, into climbing, into squatting. Like, I think it's great. I mean, I think I've seen older people use it at the gym. Like, you know, like I'm like probably well into their 70s and they're pushing it, and that's so important. Again, I'm all about longevity too. Like, it's so important. If anybody could do one thing, push something heavy, because it's literally the most important thing. I think so.
Why would you say that? Why do you think pushing something heavy is the most important thing?
I mean, I think about it. When you think about the things that it's working, right? It's you're strengthening just by looking, right? Like, your neck is involved, your shoulders are involved, your core is involved, your quads are involved, your feet's involved, your grip is involved. Everything. Pushing something heavy is so important. And God, like, who knows? God forbid, right? You'll never know when those muscles will be needed. And if you're just not willing to go and to do exercises every single week and you want to pick one thing,
so the more full body factor is
more full body factor, and it's simple, you know, keeping it simple. It's very simple.
I think it's so learning squats, right? Learning a pistol squat, learning other dynamic stuff. You think this is a little bit simpler to pick up?
100, because we already walk. We already walk. Babies crawl. Like, we have those mechanics of walking and crawling and running and everything, and it's just kind of putting everything together, but with a weight. So would you give it a... I would give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like your answer. For general public at the gym, especially if your gym has a sled, I would give it... I want to give it a 10 out of 10, honestly, because it does replicate functional movement. It carries over into athletics. And because of the weight, the resistance, it can carry into bodybuilding too.
True.
It may not be a direct glute pump, but you're still going to get good glute growth, right? So I think, like, those out there looking for hypertrophy, muscle growth, they can still get it.
Right.
Or you could keep it light and work on those mechanics. But the biggest reason I give it 10 out of 10 is for 2 reasons. One is walking is the most important thing.
Right.
So if you're pushing the sled and you're learning how to trust that you're falling forward while pushing it, that's what you need in walking, because walking is the act of falling forward. So when you get up, you know, as long as you do it right, you're not going to be so held up. You're going to be more relaxed and grounded, so you can fall forward. So I love it for that reason. I love teaching people how to walk backward and run backward, because it kind of reduces your reliance on your eyes. So I like sled pulls, right? Because you're walking backward. So you're learning, how do I, like, reach my leg behind me? We don't really do that.
Trust the floor.
Right. How do you trust the floor? How do I turn walking backward, right? How am I trusting my feeling of my body, trusting the floor without using my eyes so much?
Right.
So that I like it for so many reasons. So that's why I give it 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Cool. Well, hopefully your gym has one.
Yeah. All gyms should have one.
Right. Okay. We got walking backwards on a treadmill.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it kind of goes hand in hand with the sled pulls and sled pushes.
What would you rank it?
I think depending on goals, depending on where you're at currently.
Let's talk about Gen Pop.
Gen Pop, I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Say more.
It kind of ties back into you, right? Like, trusting the floor, trusting that you're, you know, not gonna fall, hopefully. But it does have the strengthening properties of it, that you strengthen your knees, right? Because it's like you're especially if it's like a dead stop treadmill.
Oh, I was gonna say, let's be clear. Is the treadmill on?
No, I would say dead stop, like the ones that are not on.
Okay.
Like, you're pulling the treadmill with your feet. It has glute activation, hamstring activation, and then also really strengthens your knees in that vulnerable state. So if you have issues with, like, bending down, like picking things up, running, if you have knee pain while running, I know for sure it helps strengthen that, because it you know, when you're running, you're like putting so much stress and impact on your knees, right? So if you're pulling and you're able to pull with tension on your knees, hypothetically that tension while running shouldn't be as impactful as if you just let your knees just be all willy-nilly and you're not strengthening them, because every part of your body needs to be strengthened, and walking backwards strengthens a lot. Shin splints too, like shin splints, definitely that helps fix it, because you're putting your feet up in flexion and you're pushing back, and you're constantly. I just feel like it's
mechanically.
Okay.
No, that's okay.
No
so
mechanics.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But you're saying that there's a lot of carryover.
Yeah, a lot of carryover. A lot. And again, no matter the age, no matter the state of your body, again, one thing that's really good is just walking backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of dynamics there.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So having said that, the resistance of the treadmill, right? Because the treadmill's off.
Yeah.
So that changes my answer.
Oh, okay.
So if your gym doesn't have a sled, I like it because it's replicating a sled
As much
drag.
as a sled?
Yes and no. It changes because with a sled, if you have access to one, are you holding on to it and then your arms are locked in? Is there a thing around your waist so it's purely body?
Right.
So that changes things. With this, I'm assuming you're holding on, right?
Yeah.
You probably have to hold on to have that kind of strength to push. So if you don't have a sled at your gym, I think that's a great strategy. I like walking backwards for many, many reasons: athletic development, body awareness, grounding, etc. But I love your point too. It carries over well to running. Without going into mechanics of running, you don't train your posterior chain, if you will, as much, directly as much.
Right.
So that's why these things like knee pain, shin splints, etc. develop.
Right.
So I like that for running per se. If I said, do I like running on or walking backwards on treadmill for gen pop? It depends on your goal.
Yeah.
Should everyone maybe warm up with it to get some of those benefits, cool down with it to get some of those benefits, let alone use it as an exercise?
Yeah, supplement.
I think everyone should.
Right.
But I think, again, that's going to require some discipline, some focus, some repeated practice. So I would say more in the realm of like a 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah, I can get with that.
It's effective,
Yeah.
but you have to have the desire and the patience to keep doing it, but also try to use it with other activities too.
Right.
So does it immediately give you all that stuff? Yes and no.
Yeah.
So that's why I graded it a little bit lower.
No,
So-
that's true, and I agree. And I say all this, and I'm not a runner, so
Yeah.
I am not a runner. I hate running with a passion, but
I also hate running, but I think it's great for you.
it is. But-
I like sprinting. All right, last one.
Okay.
All right, I cheated. I looked. What you got on Bosu ball?
Ooh.
What you think about that? Honest opinion.
Honest opinion?
There's a lot of size in there.
Yeah, I mean, coming at it from like a gen pop, like based off what I see in the gym,
Sure.
I give it like a 2 out of 10.
Say more.
Bosu ball is great. Stability is great. If you're aware about what your body's doing.
Okay.
It is great if you know how everything is feeling in the moment, how everything should be feeling. But just to use it to be unstable, I don't think is a great approach. Because if you're not aware that you're unstable and how to stabilize your body and the things that it takes to require to bring you back to neutral, putting somebody that doesn't know, and that's a lot of people that doesn't know where their body is and what their body is doing at all times and how it should be stable, putting them on something that's unstable and being like, hey, throw this ball at the same time while your knees are on the ball. Throw this ball back and forth. Like,
So maneuvering weights, you're saying?
maneuvering weights, rotating on it, doing crunches. And again, there's a lot of benefits for stability, but I don't think that that is the best stability exercise to
sure.
throw at general population. Athletes absolutely have at it. Athletes need to know how to be unstable and how to rotate and toss weights and
Sure.
be in a vulnerable position, quote unquote, at all times. But that's athletes. Like, they already know how to deal with that.
Sure.
Give it to like,
You'd be surprised.
I mean, yeah, it depends on the athlete and
Right.
what they're training, right?
Yeah.
But throw it at any average Joe Schmo, I'm like,
Sure.
that,
Let's get you on some planks.
yeah.
Let's get you on some carries.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
start with the basics, like learning how to breathe. Like, that's also one thing. Like, making sure that's something you taught me. Everything is in line. Like, hips to pelvis, relax from the knees. Can we start there before?
Fighting with your body and an apparatus.
Exactly. I mean, it's not easy. Even I struggle with it. I'm like, this is not fun.
Sure.
You find yourself compensating.
That's a big factor too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're compensating. Like,
Okay.
okay, my neck is straining because I'm trying to hold myself up the entire time, and now
Yeah.
everything is shaking and my legs hurt. It's like, there's no point.
Well, you do get a workout from that, right? So things are shaking and it's burning.
Yeah.
So I want to give it that. I want to give it that kind of compliment, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
I would say Bosu ball is 0 out of 10.
0.
So two sides to this. Number one, you're never really walking on an unstable surface. So for general public, what is your goal? Is your goal muscle mass, longevity, etc.? You're never on an unstable surface. So to train on a Bosu ball is never going to be applied to life. So I don't like that aspect. And number two, Tala was explaining that if you're not connected, you don't have body awareness, and you're not stable, well, reflexively, your brain is going to make you guard using your reflex system. So it's going to want to lift you up and disconnect you and use parts to just do the best it can to stabilize. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, right? Because if you're trying to grow a glute or you're trying to increase stability, but your neck is lifting you up, it disconnects your rib cage from your pelvis. So your core is not really doing the work.
Right.
So I think it's kind of defeating the purpose. If we're talking about specific populations, athletics and such, I'd rather put different apparatuses in their way that they have to learn how to move around.
It, yeah.
Because again, they're never on an unstable surface. So that's why straight up 0 out of 10.
Actually, yeah.
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 Could it be fun? Sure. Could it be a little novel? That's cool.
For
but
laughs,
we're
yeah.
talking about using these things on a regular basis and kind of trying to give it to everybody. Is it for the general public or is it for the one-off athlete? So, yeah. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think we're on the same page
Yeah.
from very different perspectives. Strictly a personal trainer, PT, lots more information and knowledge in the industry than I could ever have.
That's okay.
But I think the fact that we're on the same page just means that there's A, a lot to learn from each other,
Sure.
and B, that
You got training down. You know how to handle your people.
hopefully, I would
Sounds
hope
like
so.
it. Sounds like it. Hope you guys learned something from this. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. We can certainly dive more into these topics. If you want to know why I don't like the Bosu ball and what we could do instead, or why Tala might like walking on a treadmill backward, and you'd like to know more about that and how it can carry over to other things, just reach out. So
Yeah.
thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.